Oil was found between the era of 300 AD to 600 AD in China, but its original use was developed during the 19th century, when one of the cleanest fuels, kerosene, was discovered by American industrialists. Slowly after identifying its key use of it in transportation, lubrication, and inflammation, oil demand surged during World War I, and oil became the key element for any industry and started playing a huge role in product price determination. Oil wells are considered to be very speculative and a capital-intensive market. Oil reserves are a matter of luck, of which most countries are not able to take part. Oil reserves have played a dominant role in the development of countries like Russia, the USA, and Middle Eastern countries. Now, the question here is how this industry works and who controls the majority of the oil in the world. Welcome to Wealthy Mindset, where we explore unique and breathtaking angles from the world of money, economics, personal finance, and investing. But before we dive into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, click on the bell icon right there so you never miss any of our subsequent videos. It was in 1960 when oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Venezuela, and Kuwait joined their hands to create an Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. It was done to tackle 7 sister oil companies that were Standard Oil, Socony Vacuum, Chevron, Gulf, Texaco from the US, and the other 2 were the Anglo-Persian oil companies and British Petroleum. In the initial days, the United States played a dominant role, with 5 dominant players in the market. In the case of Iran and Britain, they later nationalized these oil companies and renamed them as British Petroleum, or BP. The idea behind establishing OPEC was to decolonize the oil market created by the US and control the natural resources produced by the OPEC countries. These tie-ups really worked for OPEC, and eventually, in the mid-70s, these countries captured the majority of the oil market with their 70% share of total oil reserves. The surge in the oil demand resulted in a growth of 2,000 to 3,000% profit margins for these oil-producing countries, which helped them in economic development. Crude oil has become a very important commodity that has wide usage in every market. Over time, when people were able to own cars and vehicles, the demand surged. Oil and natural gas have become the core of power generation, cooking, and transportation of goods. Since the creation of OPEC, every member country has got the chance to set its production quota or target. The dominance that the US had created with respect to supply and pricing was eliminated, and slowly they came into power by 1973. OPEC had affected the oil-producing capacity of the United States, their global markets, and cemented themselves as United States rivals. OPEC, as well as non-OPEC members, were able to create good relations in the Asian market, which made sure that no particular power or country can dominate this industry again. Currently, OPEC has 13 members: Algeria, Angola, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, United Arab Emirates, Nigeria, and Libya. Every member country has the power of one vote, and in every decision they get their individual consent. This process has outsized the role of Saudi Arabia, as they account for 34% of total oil production and export. As of January 2022, OPEC has contributed 28% of global petroleum liquids. In the year 2006, a declaration of cooperation was built where OPEC and 10 non-OPEC countries, Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Malaysia, Mexico, Bahrain, Brunei, Oman, Sudan, and South Sudan, signed an agreement in Vienna, Austria, to embark on a new era of sustainability and stability in the global oil market, which was named as OPEC Plus Umbrella. Recent geopolitical stress, which has been created because of the Russia-Ukraine war, has resulted in a spike in crude oil prices up to $139 per barrel. Russia, being the world's second largest oil producer and rival of Saudi Arabia in the oil market, has affected the oil market. Although the pricing of crude is highly reliant on the demand and supply of the market, every day, prices change and trade in the live market, but these prices are highly sensitive to the issues like geopolitical wars. This creates an effect on the supply chain over the globe, and in this case, sanctions were imposed by several European Union members and by the United States over Russia. This has affected the demand that Russia looks upon from importing countries. Even countries that had tie-ups with Russia are also affected, looking for alternatives and switching to new supply sources. Fuel equipment deficiencies create a challenge for consumers, which ultimately affects the pricing majorly. In our opinion, crude oil is now at its maturity level. There is no single producer or dominant player who can control the price. Mainly, it is the OPEC Plus countries, or OPEC umbrellas, who look over it. But the price is the game of supply and demand from the consumer side. This chain is majorly affected when the world faces any geopolitical tension like the Russia-Ukraine war, fluctuation of demand just like during COVID time, or disruption in the supply chain like the Suez Canal block created by the giant ship. Now it is your turn to tell us what are the key problems countries face because of the fluctuation in crude oil prices. If you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest business trends and interesting facts. You can also turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of our mind-blowing videos. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, bye!